senior NFL insider at ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
All right, what are we doing out there?
Let me get my golf voice ready for tomorrow. Let's whisper and see how it's done. How Rory McIlroy and Keegan Bradley are going to hit them from the fairway. Are we all ready for tomorrow? I think we are.
Okay.
I think we are.
Okay, so what are you? You're going to have that little pack on your back that you're going to have the connection and the ears. You're going to have a handheld, and you're going to be following them on the course. Is that your role tomorrow?
That's my role tomorrow. Basically, it's 18 holes with Rory and Captain Keegan. Be walking, and honestly, look, I mean, Robert Dameron's going to provide golf commentary, all the people back in the studio. I'm just there to observe, have a little bit of fun. I love golf. I love watching these guys, in all honesty. On Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I watch ESPN Plus. I'm like in this golf pool. I watch my golf or whoever I pick that week. I watch every shot that he hits. So this is just taking me up close and personal to these guys. And I had the chance to meet Rory last October. Jack Teraputo, the producer for Happy Gilmore, invited me out to New Jersey. They were filming for the day, and it was the day where Rory was there, Scotty Scheffler was there, Bryson was there, Brooks Koepka was there. Got to hang out with those guys for a morning. It was kind of cool. And, now we go out tomorrow to Cromwell, Connecticut, to the Travelers Championship, and I'm honored to be a tiny, teeny-bitsy part of the broadcast.
Yeah, ESPN Plus obviously has a lot of different streams to cover golf this year, and more specifically the Travelers, which is a signature event this year for the PGA, who's got a new CEO who we are all pumped up about in the roll-up world. Let's go, Brian. Let's go, Brian. How much of this do you plan on doing in the future? Because I remember whenever Woj retired, there was a thought that the other insiders would maybe just pick up basketball. And then you were potentially going to become a basketball insider alongside of a football insider. Are you thinking about becoming a golf insider as well? How much more of this coverage are you going to do? And what are the opportunities here other than just tomorrow?
Well, I mean, it's just tomorrow is the opportunity, to be honest. But I do think there is an opening in the golf space.
Yes.
And I think that in time, that's something that would interest me. Like, I love what I do. I'm very happy doing what I do. I want to keep doing it. But I've done it for 35 years, too. And, if you have grilled chicken every night, every once in a while, it's nice to have the stir-fried chicken and just mix it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so try some different things. And that's all this is. When I did the NBA sidelines, that was unbelievable. Like, I love it. And you know what it's like in the sports world. Like, when you were playing football, Pat, if there are athletes and entertainers that show up in your universe, they love to be a part of the football world. The people in the football world love to be a part of the athletes and the entertainment and artist world. So there's a little bit of overlap there. And I love stepping into a new venue where I don't know what the hell I'm doing tomorrow. I'm just there to try to observe, watch, learn, have a little bit of fun, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea. All I know is I'm thankful to have the opportunity, and hopefully I don't disrupt Captain Keegan and Rory in their backswings or anything like that.
Well, Rory needs a pick-me-up, so maybe you'll be the one that does it. And
get him swivel.
Yeah, Rory's been tossing clubs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, careful.
Pretty good club tosser, though, if I might add. Maybe the best in tour's history. That little bounce pass to himself with the club, I thought he was going to maybe throw it again. Could you imagine he throws it once, not good enough, throws it again? That would have been 2 club throws and 1 club throw. Mm-hmm. That would have been a combo out
World
here.
record.
We hope he's in a better mood, better spirits. Hopefully you're able to do that. Let's talk about the sack king of the NFL. Go ahead, Conman.
Schefter, reports about Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals talking again were reported. Is that real? Is that kind of BS? Is this the Bengals front office getting this out there so that they kind of look like the good guy here? And do you expect this deal to get done for about $30 million?
Well, they're talking again, but they're not any further along. Like, they're talking, it doesn't mean a whole lot right now. It'll mean something if and when they can figure out a way to get a deal done, which they've been unable to do so far. And I think there's a disagreement over value, and I think most important, there's also a disagreement on length here, a length of deal. I think that's also an issue here. The Bengals would like a shorter deal. Hendrickson would like a longer deal, and they can't even find common ground on the length of the deal right now. Now, again, it's June 18th. So if it's still not solved by July 18th, that's more of an issue. If it's not solved by August 18th, then that becomes a real issue. But I think Trey Hendrickson is absolutely frustrated right now and disappointed with the way this whole thing has gone. And we see some of these other pass rushers getting paid. And look, it's in the best interest of both sides here, the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson, to get a deal done. There are your highest paid guys right now. The list is going to be increasing. Micah Parsons is going to become the highest paid defensive player in history at some point this summer. He's going to pass up Myles Garrett. And so I don't know that that has a dramatic effect on Trey Hendrickson, but it could have some type of effect. And look, Trey Hendrickson, the last 2 years, more sacks than anybody, led the league in sacks last year, a guy you want in your locker room. But again, they're talking, but they're not any closer to a deal today.
Okay, so they're talking, not closer to a deal, but at least there's communication happening, because for a long time there hadn't been, which I think Trey felt kind of disrespected by, if I'm picking through the way he has handled this entire situation, even going to a voluntary day. Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah. Where's the media? This is all bullshit. He didn't say that exactly, but basically how he explained it is last year, 2 years ago, I thought this was going to happen. Last year, I thought this was going to happen. I was told if I do this again, I've just got the most sacks out of anybody. 3 years feels like the right one. Normally, this would be a 3-year type deal. Are you thinking that Trey wants longer? Cincinnati Bengals want less than that?
I think that the Bengals would like a low deal, like 1 year.
Oh, okay.
1 year.
They would like a trial run.
A proven year for wow.
I think they would like to boost what he's going to make probably for the final year.
Wow is right.
Like kind of what the Giants did with Saquon, right? When he wanted that running back deal.
Yeah.
They boosted it for $3,000 or something.
Yeah, it wasn't that
$3
much.
million, or maybe Austin Eckler.
No, Eckler had the boost, but with Saquon he had the tag, and then they gave him an extra 10.5 million instead of 10 million.
800,000.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just trying to give him a boost, and hey, you're going to make this. We're trying to boost it up to this, and then you'll be free. Interesting.
Eckler's was the one that was like $3,000 more. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was disrespectful. Yeah, that one we thought, oh, geez, I don't know if we want that one to be made publicly. Okay, so that's Trey Hendrickson in the AFC North. Let's stay in the AFC North with a quarterback tackler. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Schefter, you talked about Micah being the highest paid defender of all time, passing Myles Garrett. You did not mention TJ Watt passing Myles Garrett. What's the latest on that situation? Do you think he will get more than Myles Garrett?
I don't know that he's going to get more than Myles Garrett. I think TJ Watt's going to get a nice, strong, healthy deal, and I think at some point in time the two sides will be able to figure out a way to get this done. And I can't imagine that TJ Watt wouldn't be there for the start of training camp, that Pittsburgh would not get a deal done. We heard Mike Tomlin last week at mandatory minicamp saying that both sides working to make it happen. But TJ Watt's serious here. He's seen all the money that's gone around, and he wants to make sure that he gets rewarded in the appropriate way. And again, I just think that these two sides will be able to figure out. I think Myles Garrett is in his own class. Micah Parsons is 4 years younger, I believe, than Myles Garrett, and had more quarterback pressures, more wins against opposing offensive linemen. And Myles Garrett is a Hall of Fame defensive end, a Hall of Fame pass rusher. But Micah Parsons had numbers that beat his, and he's 4 years younger. And that's why I think Micah is going to become the highest paid defensive player. TJ Watt's going to get a really, really strong deal, but I don't know exactly where it's going to come in. I think I'd be surprised if it was higher than Myles Garrett.
How come everybody just assumes that deal's getting done? That's how it's been. He missed mandatory minicamp. Everybody's like, a TJ Watt Steelers deal.
It's the Steelers, yeah.
Thank you.
Just because you think the Steelers will definitely get it done.
They'll figure out a way, and he's so important to that team and that city that it's hard to imagine that they wouldn't figure out a way to get it done.
But he has to think that they're not going to get it done, right? That's why he didn't go to mandatory.
Yeah, no. He said he opted to absorb the $107,000+ in fines by not showing up at mandatory minicamp. That's a big statement to make. $107,000 is a lot of money. But if you're talking about $35+ million a year, what's $107,000? So he could afford to make a statement. That was what he opted to do. Tell them that he's not happy. He's so unhappy that he's willing to stay away, and that'll continue if the deal is not done in the right way.
So when this is $38,107,000 a year, okay, for the next 3 years or whatever it is, we can obviously laugh about the fine, but everybody's just saying the deal is going to get done, the deal is going to get done, the deal is going to get done, and it seems like with the way TJ's operating, he doesn't think a deal at this stage is going to get done. I'm very intrigued by that. And I think JJ Watt came on and was like, I just feel like, from my perspective, whenever you do these deals earlier, you save yourself grief, you save anxiety, you save money, you do all these things. So whenever it continues to roll out, it's like Trey's dealing with it now. Obviously, TJ was dealing with it. Myles Garrett was dealing with it. Like, money can solve it, but it ultimately, Jerry Jones normally has to deal with this because he passes it off. It's like that number just goes up and up and up. And it's like, if you're going to get a deal done inevitably, let's get a deal done.
Especially with TJ. The record of when TJ plays versus when he doesn't for the Steelers, I forget the exact number.
Good, but it wasn't with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, like, who wants to hold out longer? Does the team want to hold out longer? Or does the player want to hold out longer?
Somebody the Cowboys love. Jerry Jones likes it.
The drama.
Yeah.
You think that he likes
I
the
think
drama?
he likes it.
Yeah. Saw some
CD,
tweets about it.
Schefter just said Michael Parsons will be the highest paid. Like, why not just get that done now before somebody else?
I remember when Jim Irsay said, Andrew Luck's going to be the highest paid quarterback in history, brother. And everybody was like, just lost a lot of leverage there. Don't care.
Yeah.
We all see it, brother. It's like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. Intrigued by it all, especially decision makers and how they go about doing things. Last question for you. Speaking of that, there's a brand new decision maker in the land of cheese. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Schefty, we've heard from Packers' new CEO and team president, Ed Policy, about some of his new policies. And he basically said, hey, I'm not ready yet to give extensions to both Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst. How pivotal is this season for the Packers, not just for the team, to kind of take that next step, but I don't want to say these guys are on the hot seat, but how pivotal is this season that the Packers perform well?
I thought that was a very interesting statement. He said a couple of interesting things yesterday. He mentioned something about the fact that the Packers aren't exploring options of moving, and I'm like, the Green Bay Packers, when did we ever hear about the Packers moving? So clearly there's something going on with the stadium that the team is not happy with right now, that he's trying to get rectified and using some leverage. And he brought up the fact that he's not ready to extend Russ Ball, Brian Gutekunst, and Matt LaFleur. And I think Gutekunst and LaFleur have 2 years left on their deal. This is a time that a lot of teams would be doing deals if you believe in your guy. Right now, Ed Policy's taking over, and I think he's just taking a wait-and-see approach. The coaching market, the GM market is what it is. It's not like by waiting it's going to cost them a whole lot more, and each guy will have another year left on his deal after this year. But I just thought it was interesting that he would even open the door there to start that conversation, because at the end of the season, everybody's going to go back to Ed Policy and say, where are we at on Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur? And he set precedent by talking about it now, so you would expect that he would be, once again, willing to talk about it after the year, and we'll get a stance. If he all of a sudden says after the season, I'm not talking about that, well, that's not a very good sign for those guys. So I think we have an idea of where he's at right now. Wait and see. Both guys have done a great job. I would have thought that they'd be taken care of, but he's waiting and seeing on both.
I think if you asked him, he'd say, Ed Policy's policies are stern but fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's saying, I'm going to have to see it with my own eyes. I got ideas. He's appointed by a board.
Yeah.
So then if the board has appointed this guy and he brings up we're not thinking about leaving Green Bay, that means there's probably some sort of something. Could you imagine the Green Bay Packers leaving Green Bay?
That'll never happen. We can just
Ty's an owner of the Green Bay Packers.
We can end that right. Ed Policy was also the guy who basically started the Titletown expansion. So he knows what's going on around there. He's going to make sure that
Ed Policy's policies are good.
Yeah, bingo. He was also general counsel. Ed Policy's a bit of a big swinging dick, so he just needs to kind of get into his own here, and he will. I like it. I kind of like it. Put their feet to the fire a little bit. I'm tired of hearing, hey, this is the youngest team. Packers are coming on. They might challenge to win a Super Bowl this year, and then you get a first-round playoff exit. I like it. Hey, let's go. Let's have a deep playoff run, and then we'll talk.
Great first round of the draft. Great host of the draft. Anything else we should be chit-chatting about, either golf or football with you, Schefty, as we come up on a hard out?
No, but we wish good luck to your Pacers here tomorrow night. That's a big game for your team here, and we'll see whether Tyrese can go. That's a big deal. And certainly sounded like he was going to go, and now they're listing him as questionable. I'd be surprised if he didn't play.
Okay. Boom.
Love that. Ladies and gentlemen, senior golf, NBA, and NFL insider at ESPN, Adam Schefter. Thank you, buddy. The man. the band.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand looks awesome on top of a car down in Florida right now. Cigar in hand, coffee in hand.
Saw that.